It's that time of the week again. Rob reacts to real estate videos that you guys send over to me. Uncle G, let's see what he's got to say.
Here's 5 mistakes that you want to avoid during this upcoming great opportunity that's going to unveil itself to all of us over the next 18 months. Real quick. Number 1, never, never, never compromise the location. Okay, I'm telling you, you can't change that. You can't buy it again. Never compromise the location. 2, do not buy the cheapest property in the neighborhood. This is an old thing that people have done for years. It cost me millions, tens of millions of dollars compromising over that location and trying to buy a cheaper property just down a couple of blocks or even a couple of houses or a couple of lots down. 3rd thing, use good debt. Only good debt. Do not use bad debt.
I'm with him, right? Next 18 months is huge, regardless of what you hear. Those that know. So it's about location, okay? And the reason that's important for you guys now, especially first-time home buyers, for folks looking to get onto the property ladder, affordability is such a behemoth that these are the things with real estate that are overlooked. So understand that you want to buy the best looking house in the best location that you can afford, because that's always going to bode well for you on the exit strategy. Now, when he's talking about the bad debt, again, context, he's a commercial guy. The reason that's important at the time of this video, that's where the real bubble is. Why? Because commercial debt is financed in 3, 5, 7, 10-year intervals, where a lot of that debt this year, next year, and the year to come is coming due, where they have to reposition. And a lot of these folks, just like Uncle G, they were able to get this cheap money a couple of years ago, and they didn't necessarily reposition, put rate caps in. If they put the rate caps in or ceilings in, they didn't put them in high enough. So they're in a world of trouble. Now, on the residential side, 1 to 4 units, the best thing that you have going for you is 30-year fixed interest rate debt. So let's continue to see what he has to say. But so far, I'm rocking with him.
Number 4 thing, don't flip the property. Don't get rid of it. Never sell it. There's been one piece out of probably 55, 56 properties that I ever sold that I'm glad I did. The rest I wish I'd have kept. And the 5th thing, this is a long-term play, folks. 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Plan on passive income, cash flow, taking care of you and your family for years to come. That's why you're buying real estate, to protect yourself against the dollar, to appreciate long-term, and get that passive income.
He's hitting it on the head. Real estate is slow money. So if you're someone looking to buy property for an investment type purposes or wealth building purposes, know and understand you got to keep the property. The longer you keep it, the more you increase your wealth. Moreover, if you've not noticed, inflation benefits assets. A home is an asset, regardless of what Uncle G said a couple of years ago, because he's selling apartment complexes. Again, everybody's not buying apartment complexes. However, as of November 5th, the government agencies, Fannie Mae, has made some changes to the multifamily guidelines, which now allows those of you that want to have your own mini apartment complex, you can put as little as 5% of that purchase price down. Huge win. Let's move to the next one.
Okay, so I need someone to explain to me how these new construction builders steer you to use their preferred lenders is not predatory.
So the question is, how are builders allowed to offer a incentive and tie it to you using their lender of choice? And although it's frustrating, it's not illegal. It's not a RESPA violation because of affiliated business arrangements. If you're dealing with a new builder, here's the deal. They're in partnership with the mortgage company and the title company and the insurance company. It's that proverbial one-stop shop. They don't have to give you the incentive if you go with another lender. What they can't do is say, hey, if you choose to go to another lender, now the house is more expensive. That's why you have to decide, is it in your best interest for the home builder? Should you be doing the mortgage? Should you be doing the title work? should you be doing the insurance? Should you be dipping in all those pots, or should you put all your time and effort in being the best builder that you can be? Let's see what else Ben's got to say.
Initially, when they started the process with the lender that the builder referred them or is working with, interest rates were in the low to mid sixes, and he was comfortable with the monthly payment. And obviously, the builder will give you an incentive if you work with their preferred lender, which in this case, the builder was willing to give them $10,000 if they work with their preferred lender. Now, here's where the problem starts. The lender wasn't able to lock in that initial 6% interest rate that he quoted them, because the lender cannot lock in the rate until the home is actually completed. So now we're in late October.
This is something that happens a lot. You all have to realize when you're going to buy new construction, it could be anywhere from 3 months to a year, okay? And so whatever rate that you're quoted, you have to make sure, especially when you're dealing with these builders, that you get them to put in writing that they're able to lock that rate in, that they've quoted you. That's number one. And then is there a float down provision that you have if rates are better in the future? Because rates change daily, it's volatile. So that's something that you have to be on top of if you're dealing with the builder's lender. Last thing I'll say, nobody's giving you anything. We got to get that out of the mix. So whenever you don't have the down payment and the closing costs, a builder saying, hey, I'm going to give you these monies. Well, the money's got to come from somewhere. And more times than not, they know how to price these homes, and they're going to add it to the purchase price. And as long as I would strongly recommend that you look around to pre-existing, especially if it's a new home community that's been around a year or two. Look at the homes that are in the neighborhood, might not be brand new, okay? But in this environment, you might be very surprised at the deals that you could get. In essence, still have a new home because you still have the builder's warranty for the major things. Good stuff, man. If you want me to respond or react to a video, all the platforms, you find me at Lend, L-E-N-D, the number 2 USA, at Lend2 USA, and shoot them over to me and we'll react. Who we got here? Herman. Let's see what Herman talking about today.
You're literally sitting on a gold mine. Your house is worth so much more. We're in a market where houses are selling for a ton. Now, why aren't you reinvesting your equity? Well, most people are going to say because they don't want to refinance because their interest rate's so low. But that's just an excuse. There's something called a HELOC, home equity line of credit, and they fund in 5 days. They give you a portion of your equity on a line of credit, and you can use it to build an ADU, consolidate debt, pay for Christmas gifts. I don't know. But it's a great idea to buy property now where you can negotiate and get a good deal.
I agree with him on a lot of points other than you don't want to buy Christmas gifts with your equity. Hopefully you're buying an ADU, an auxiliary dwelling unit, right? So somebody can rent it and increase your cash flow and the value of your property. And then to the point with HELOC'S, here's the deal, man. You're either going to deal with a local bank, a credit union, and some brokers have HELOC'S. It's not because they love you. The banks offer these things because they know human psychology. HELOC is simply a credit card that's tied into the equity of your home. Depending on what your balance is, the equity of the home, and somewhere in between there's a loan to value max that HELOC could come with. If you have a bunch of high interest rate credit cards now, credit cards anywhere between 18 and 28%, that might be something to look at if you could get a HELOC for 10% and have a strategy to pay off that debt. I know a lot of folks do seconds or HELOCs and things of that nature to put pools because folks are living in their homes longer. The deal is with the home equity line of credit, it's a revolving line of credit, okay? It could be funded quickly, but you know, these banks are doing that because they know that's a refinance coming down the line, because most of you guys are gonna get it, you're gonna max it out, and then there's a ceiling to it, and then you have to make those payments, and those payments are directly pegged to the Fed's funds rate. So it's an adjustable rate mortgage. But if you do have a low interest rate, you need to fight and do everything that you can do to hold on to that, because that is a benefit, especially when inflation is higher. You're actually paying back the debt with cheaper dollars. So you want to hold on to that lower interest rate, use a HELOC, but use it wisely. You're borrowing debt. I'm from the standpoint that It should be to buy assets, something that can appreciate over time, maintain your buying power, give you tax benefits. Remember, they're variable, meaning the interest rates go up and down, but I get it. It makes sense, especially if you have a low interest rate. So Herman, my man, I agree with you 1,000%. And just like all of the reviews that I've seen today, there's a strategy, there's a way to go about buying a house the right way in this environment, in this market that we're in. Because one thing I think we all can agree upon, we can agree with Uncle G, real estate is it, baby. Real estate is it. So watch this video right here on how to buy 4 houses for just $25,000.